Welcome to the TerryWilson3.com podcast. Today we've got an episode packed with humor, insights, and a few surprisingly profound moments. In episode 623, Terry sits down with Reagan and River to talk about, well, everything. From Caitlin Clark's rise in the WNBA to River's bold resolution to stop embellishing, seriously, he's trying, this conversation is equal parts hilarious and heartfelt. They'll also tackle the art of setting boundaries more effectively, reflect on Terry's recent sermon about discovering and using your gifts, and explore the incredible power of audio for learning. And, of course, no episode would be complete without their signature sophomoric one-liners that will have you laughing out loud. But don't worry, they managed to sneak in a few solid points amidst the fun. Get ready for an entertaining and informative journey that you won't want to miss. Episode 623 of the TerryWilson3.com podcast starts right now.
Hey, you think snail mail is dead? Well, think again. Listen, we have an opportunity that is unlike any other direct mail opportunity I know about. What if you could get your message out in front of 10,000 people in your area that fits the exact demographic you need to target? Age, income, credit rating, everything, new movers. You can get in front of 10,000 people with a direct mail piece for as little as $550. That's right, $550 for a mail piece that statistically is going to give 1 to 1.5% response, which means you're going to get 100 to 150 new people calling you, coming into your restaurant, coming to your store, coming to your website to look at what you're selling, whatever it is that you do. Up to 150 new people coming in as customers calling you saying, hey, here's my money, please take it, for as little as $550. That means you only have to clear $10 per client to triple your money. Call us today, 864-507-9696. That's 864-507-9696 at TerryWilson3.com. We have an opportunity for direct mail like none other. 10,000 piece mailer, full color, going out to people in your area for you to offer your products, goods, and services. This is a great ROI piece of marketing. You want a great return on investment? Sit down with one of our coaches, our trainers, our marketing experts. We will show you how to get in front of 10,000 people for as little as $550. Only at TerryWilson3.com or 864-507-9696.
Welcome to TerryWilson3.com, home of TW3. Are you ready to take your money, business, and life to the next level? You are worth more, and you're about to hear how and why. So buckle up and listen up as we journey to the next level. Please welcome your guides to reach your goals, the TW3 family.
You're listening to TerryWilson3.com. TerryWilson3.com. Inspiring, informative, and entertaining content for the entrepreneur and small business owner. Here's your host, Reagan Wilson.
You didn't tell me I was starting. Yeah, where'd that come from? Hey, what episode number is this?
I don't even remember.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the TW3 podcast. This is episode
623, maybe
623.
I'll look it up. Keep talking. Buy time.
Definitely way more. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We've gathered everyone to talk about the NBA ratings. They are down. And really what we're asking is, what can you do? What is your part in all of this?
Well, let me ask you this. What's the WNBA's ratings? Is it up?
Well, that depends. Is Caitlin Clark playing?
Is that really? Is she the driver?
Yeah, for sure. And she's out, viewership when she plays.
So she's driving the ratings, and it's just empirical data that you can see when she's on.
When she is on, there's as many views, if not more views, than like any Steph Curry or LeBron game right now.
Really? I hate to delve into this type of topic, especially on a business.
You said you start. That's your mistake. Actually, you didn't say you start. You said nothing, and it said, "Here's your host."
I heard her come out and apologize for a privilege that, and
Sure.
and in some context, I understand that. I really, but in the context that she operates, I don't understand what.
Yeah, that's a loaded topic. I'm not going to touch with a 10-foot pole. That's
Was that
not for
said
me to
cryptic
say.
enough to keep us out of trouble?
Yeah, I'm not a woman and I'm not of color, so I have nothing to add here. But I will say she shoot the ball real good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Real fun to watch.
She's really good. She's very entertaining.
There's another broad there that said, you know, there's this other broad, and she says they're here for me too, and everybody's like, nah,
Yeah.
they're really not.
Well, the thing about it is, with that kind of business, you just look at the rating sheet.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's pretty cut and dry.
Like what
that's
team she's
pretty
with?
clear.
Indiana Fever.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, the Indiana Fever game has 30,000 people, and then the game the other lady is in is 5.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is trying to make the argument that Caitlin Clark is not the most popular sports athlete.
Well,
probably
I
right now.
do think there was one lady that was trying
There was
to
that one broad.
Angel Reese had some
That's her
comments
name.
about her
That's her
being
name.
popular, and to be fair, she was popular.
Sure.
but she was popular for being the heel to Caitlin Clark,
Right.
not because she's
was a
good at
kryptonite
basketball.
Superman.
Yeah.
Which, in all fairness, she's better than probably everybody in a 50-mile radius around here. But
Oh, absolutely.
But comparatively to the people she's playing.
The thing I enjoy the most about sports is, unlike any other type of business, especially large corporate businesses, where you have this hierarchy and you got management and ownerships and CEOs. When it comes to sports, like your job, there is not thousands of people and writers that is tracking you with stats and saying this. So most jobs you can wiggle a little bit and shade around. It's like, well, it's because of this. It's because of this. I'm not getting my comeuppance or whatever.
Right.
But
there's so much scrutiny under being a professional athlete.
But when it comes to athleticism, you can either put the ball in the hole or
and
not.
there's a statistic or metric for every single thing you do, like plus or minus. That has nothing to, well, it does, but what they do is they take an aggregate from all your shots and the points that your team scores, and like they work it into a formula that's, when you're on the floor, your team's plus or minus goes up this much. When you're off the floor, it goes down this much, or
that's
inverse
awful.
of that.
That's awful.
Yeah, I mean, but there's just a way to track everything.
which is what makes sports to me so attractive.
Yeah.
Because I don't like getting into this blame game, and I like things cut and dry.
Yeah.
Can you do your job? Well, let's go to the tape, Alex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stopwatch never lies.
It's true.
So, what are you guys excited about this Christmas? What are you looking forward to? What's on the radar?
I'm excited for the holiday, not working Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, so you're off Tuesday and Wednesday. What
I'm
about
very
you?
excited for that.
Did you
More
get
so
any time
nervous.
off?
I did get time off.
that's
Yeah, thank
awesome,
God.
awesome.
The last moment I had time off. I'm more so nervous because I didn't get anybody presents yet.
Well, you know.
I did all of. I'm going to spoil something because we know nobody else is going to listen to this podcast.
Yeah, true.
In our family.
And our family's specific.
Let's test that theory. Let's talk about every last one of them.
You're not going to care about the family gift, so I'm going to go ahead and spoil that one.
Go right ahead.
Oh, no, wait, that's Jonathan. We're fine. Okay.
Oh.
He would never rat on me.
No.
Come on in, Jonathan.
So,
Come on in, Jonathan.
He said,
Have a seat.
Don't talk to me. I'm leaving.
He's out of here.
I got a board game
Yeah.
for the family. I think you might actually like this one, so I'm not going to spoil what type of board game it is. But it's not going to come in until the 1st. So I'm going to print a picture of the board game, and it's
Yeah.
going to go in a box. And for the record, every single one of everybody's gifts is going to be that, because none of them are coming in on time.
Wow.
So I hope you like pictures.
I love pictures.
yeah.
You got me a board game too?
No, I got you. Well, that was the family gift. You and Mom have a separate gift.
Oh, okay. That's like, you hate me?
It will also just be a picture, though.
No, that's fine. You don't even have to get, honestly, don't get anything.
All right, I'm taking it back.
Okay. All right. What are you excited about?
Not excited for it to be over, but
All right.
How do I say this and get away with it?
I'm excited for the stress to be over. And it's not a lot of stress. It's just a little bit of stress. So it's like,
Well, holiday season can be very stressful.
the traffic. It's not even like the actual day or like my personal life with it. It's more like the world is very high paced and traffic, and then you can't go anywhere with. So
You did almost get hit, like 2 or 3 nights ago.
I didn't show you that video.
I'll show you. Should get the live reaction now because that would.
Yeah.
I was gonna make fun of you for a second. I was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm looking forward to the holidays.
Did you curse or anything on it?
No.
Well, send
I
it
didn't
to
say
me
a
and I
word.
can
Should've.
play it.
Oh, yeah.
I would have.
I didn't say a word. It was so close. You'll see in this video, the rest of the ride home, I turned off all podcasts, all anything. And it was one of those like
Are you
code.
doing?
Yeah, it was one of those Code Brown moments where it's like, I almost died. Like, I was that close.
It was pretty bad.
Well, you guys know, and for those who don't, we live in the upstate of South Carolina in a community. It's not even a city, it's a community because we don't have a mayor, we don't have a police department.
Right.
We are annexed into Spartanburg, and we're in a community called Boiling Springs, South Carolina.
And our address is
Boiling Springs. And it is it's grown like a weed around here.
yeah, I hate it.
And
I mean,
people
you can't
learn
move.
there's no police department here. And
So it's a perfect place to rob. Any of you guys out there?
And here's the thing: the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office, they don't have, I don't think, a traffic unit. You never see them pull people over for traffic stuff. So people know once you get into Bowling Springs, we don't have a police division. So it's like free game. You can fly.
Just fly on it. So let's see what you got going on here.
Say this. If a person just wants to make lefty content online and roll around
Oh.
a pile of money at the end of the day, I don't necessarily
Wow.
have a
That was
problem
close.
with that because
I watched it. I was like, "Oh my god, you
Holy
you
cow.
actually almost got hit."
You almost got hit.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah,
What did
imagine my reaction.
he might have like 2 feet, and that car was going.
I took a screenshot of it. I'll show you exactly how close it was. Probably about a foot.
Was that on your dash cam?
Yeah,
Got that on?
that's how close.
Holy cow.
I just don't get that. That is nuts.
And here's the thing. I pulled away probably 4 feet. I slammed on my brakes and I ripped away this way.
So you would have been hit.
Absolutely. And it would have been my door panel. So I would have had 45 miles an hour, if not more, because he was flying. Didn't even try to stop. A Dodge Challenger straight in. So the rest of the way home, I was like, that was close. That was real close. That would have been bad.
Was he just trying to, was the light turning yellow on him and he was trying to get through?
I think I figured it out. The light was red for some time, but I think I figured it out. It was one of those things. There's a few on Asheville Highway. There's a few on East Main Street where the lights are so close to each other. If this is red, but the next one is green, it's so close that it looks like yours is green, if that makes sense. So a truck ran the red light, but it was what we all do. It was like by a millisecond.
Yeah.
You're trying to make it through. Maybe that told the guy, oh yeah, this is green. He probably was on his phone. Could be drunk. I don't know. But I think it was one of those, he was confused. But I don't know.
Wow.
It was close.
It's
close
crazy
call.
out there.
So after that, it was
Happy
like,
holidays.
And so many people we know, like Callie just got her Tesla smashed.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's my biggest fear. That's like, I'm scared of getting crashed, get into a car accident all the time. And it's like the holiday season.
And what's
I think
so
makes it
crazy
worse.
since COVID, I haven't checked yet. Y'all might know better than I do, but there for a while, because of the shutdowns, used cars went astronomically high.
Yeah.
They're still high.
And then what that meant was insurance has just gone crazy.
Yep.
2 things with car insurance that's happened is premiums have just gone up astronomically, and the ability to pay out is just like, because when they locked into these policies, the rate of that car was this, and now the cost of that replacement of that car has done this, and so they're trying to catch up, and it's
Right.
It's just been.
It's going to be hard to come
Well,
back
you're
down.
lucky. In this season of America, we actually found a solution for bad insurance companies.
I knew you were going there as soon as I looked over and you were smiling. It's like you got triggered by the term
For
insurance.
legal reasons, that was a joke.
Yeah, thank you. It is a joke.
Yes.
It's
Yes. it's
Terrible tragedy.
Now we're all distraught.
Shut up. Just let's
All right,
get off
my
of
bad.
that.
My bad. My
Car
bad.
insurance. Pretty bad, huh?
My bad.
Yeah,
You wanted this.
did
You're an idiot.
I just, every night I lay down and I go, where did I go wrong? I mean, honestly, there's somewhere, and I'm retracing all of those life lessons I've
He
tried
said,
to.
I've worked so hard to build this business with
Yeah.
my bare hands. Let me put my kids on camera in front of everyone.
It just, for the record, I am on the other side of this argument.
It was just a funny joke.
Yeah,
We were
but
talking
I
about
don't
insurance
want
companies
any
and-
confusions because,
I'll make my side very clear.
Please don't.
Please don't. Nobody wants to hear from your side.
We're having a good time.
All right, we're having a good time. And I like to tell people we're having a good time, you know? I don't like to ask. A lot of comics come out here and they go, "Are we having a good time?" Not me. I can't risk it. You know what I mean?
What's that comedian
Yeah.
say?
I can't remember it.
Yeah, he's got the beard.
Yeah.
We're having a good time.
Everybody's having a good time. We're having a good time.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to having a baby in the house again and opening up all of those presents and just the magic of Christmas in front of a little baby.
That'll be fun.
I'm curious if she has any reaction at all, other than why is everyone awake?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's going to be like. Why is everybody up?
She's going to be looking around like, this isn't right.
You know, a lot of people may not know.
Unknown caller.
Hey, I got a call coming in. Hold on.
No worries.
Go ahead and take that as fun.
People probably don't know if they haven't listened to you in a while. Reagan had a baby.
Huh?
There's some people that may have not listened and
I feel
just
like that
don't,
was- is that
don't
not-
follow on Facebook.
I did have
Well, maybe they're not friends with you on Facebook, and maybe actually.
Yeah, I don't know if we've talked about that on. The members know,
Officially,
and it's
we
just the elite members that
I thought we talked about it on a podcast. Yeah.
Did we?
I thought we did, but maybe we didn't.
Okay. Well, you're a new father. If we haven't talked about that,
Yeah, I don't think we have.
but you've probably only been on what 2-3 shows this whole year.
June. She was born in June.
July
July.
22nd.
That's what I said.
So close.
Oddly enough, I knew it was the 22nd. I couldn't remember if it was June or July. My life has been a whirlwind in the last 6 months.
After I was married in January, February.
That's what I said. No, she's awesome. By God's grace, she looks like her mom. So
Oh,
we're all happy.
Very Asian.
Listen, we're over at Jonathan's family. Jonathan, Gabby's future fiance. I don't know how to qualify this, but someone that she's very serious about. They've been serious.
Significant other.
Thank you. Help me with my language, guys. Anyway, he graduates with a 4-year degree, which is the
He got a bachelor's of science in accounting.
Bachelor of
Wow.
Science in Accounting.
Well-
And so his family throws this big graduation party. And so we were graciously invited. So I got to meet his entire beautiful family. They've been dating for 1.5 years, 2 years, 3 years. I don't know.
Probably 3 years at this
3-4
point.
years.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't quote me on this. I think they started dating in June.
Yeah,
July.
22nd.
But so
Y'all remember that tragedy, September 10th?
Yikes.
Never forget. It's just awful. I tell you what, we have a terrible sense of humor. But what was I saying?
You were at Jonathan's graduation party.
Yes. And I was going somewhere with it, but I forgot what. Oh, we're showing off the pictures of Jen.
Oh.
We're showing off Jen's pictures, and they're all looking at it, and they look up at, and so they speak, by the way, they all speak Spanish. I don't. So they're all asking questions, but I don't
But you know by the tone.
But I know by the
Something's
tone,
off.
they're like, your white face didn't produce this beautiful looking baby. So they keep looking at me.
This doesn't check out.
So what? Did you buy this?
Your son adopted? That's okay, cool.
And so finally we get through the pictures, and then you and Alicia show up, and they see Alicia, and they go, oh, that's why you have pretty grandchild.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It won't be as exciting until next year, though, because is she even going to be aware?
Yeah, that's
that-
what I'm saying. I think it will be really fun in the next few years when she's
Absolutely.
more talkative and more
Yeah.
aware.
This year, she's probably going to be more.
This year's more for you.
Yeah.
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 In the coming years, it'll be for her.
It's more for photo shoots is really what
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Oh,
It's
exactly,
just how
yeah.
many photos can we get
Oh,
with the
that
baby.
dress Alicia had on her today at church was just absolutely.
It was very cute. They matched.
It was.
It was.
Yeah,
She looked like a little present.
Yeah.
It was like she was wrapped in. She had wrapping paper as a dress. It was
Yeah.
great.
She's probably going to try and eat all the paper.
I was about to say, when I think of her on Christmas Day, I just think of her like grabbing all the paper and trying to eat everything.
That's her thing right now. She's figured out how to reach and grab
Yeah.
things and put them in her mouth.
Faces specifically, I noticed that whenever I get close, she'll either like push me away, but she like grabs my face and tries to fill things out.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
So after Christmas, we have New Year's, like immediately after, and
As always.
Mom's birthday.
Yes.
on January 1st.
Yes.
Which I feel bad for it because right after Christmas, that's like probably the worst time to have a birthday.
Yeah, because everybody's sort of tired, hungover.
Everybody yeah, exactly. And then we know we have January, New Year's, but you forget there's a birthday. However, does anyone have New Year's resolutions? Anything going into the year that you're like, I'd like to change this?
I do. I'm going to get back on my eating program.
Yeah.
Because I've plumped up a little bit, as you probably can tell.
Not really, because it's so slow. You can't tell. It's like boiling a frog.
I can tell.
You can tell.
You look awful.
Thank you. See, this is the kind of support I need right here.
Do you have New Year's resolutions?
I do.
What's yours?
I started a few months ago.
Good for you. My news.
I started a few months ago, and I tend to speak like Trump. I'm a very broad speaker. I speak in big
You're
terms.
stupid.
Exactly. That's it.
Sorry.
Nail on the head.
Sorry about that.
But
like it tends to fluff stories up, right?
He lobbed that up.
you can't help yourself.
I'm not supposed to dunk that. What are we doing?
I talk like Trump, stupid. But I have a tendency to fluff things up. So, for instance, that right there, I could have been like, I almost died. I did die, actually.
I came back.
So
you speak in hyperbole a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
So a few months ago, I made this thing that was like, I'm going to not exaggerate anymore, or at least try as hard as I can, because people pick up on it way more than I thought they would. It's like everybody can know if you're exaggerating. Like,
yeah,
they're not obviously not going to say it, but it's like, yeah, that's probably not true.
It's actually, as just a psychological technique, it's better to try to understate things.
Exactly. So after that, then you have this reputation where anytime you tell a story, you're going in with like a 50% maybe this. I'm sure that's happened, but it's not as extreme as you're making it. So I made a goal, just tell it as it is.
Yeah.
Like, just tell the truth with 100%.
That's really strong self-awareness. Because I have never told you that.
No, I guess it's just
I've never harped on you, and I didn't. To be honest with you, I always said it. River has a flair for the dramatic. It was more of me just thinking you like to tell a good story.
Yeah, no, nobody told me. It's more so you notice it in other people, and it's well, if I'm noticing in other people, then they'll certainly notice it in me, because people are a lot smarter than you give them credit for.
That's smart. That's good psychology. You're recognizing qualities in other people that sort of like, and then you start thinking, well, maybe I do that as well.
Right. And I know specifically, I have a tendency to do that because I like to tell good stories. So the reaction's all I'm going
I've
for.
never let facts get in the way of a good story.
Because you want to have that good reaction that like, wow, this is a fascinating story. But then if you tell so many good stories, it's like, there's no way your life is this
start to because what a good story also has to have is credibility.
Exactly.
And to the extent that your embellishments start hurting the credibility,
right.
you might as well be CNN.
And that's my fear, where it's like people don't, like, I had a thing at Fratello's the other day. You remember that crazy lady?
I believed that story, for the record.
Was it not true?
Okay, good. It was. Okay. But that was the thing. I wanted to so bad. I like had the urge to be like, she got on the floor and the police came. They got beat up, and but I had to just sell it as it is. So I had to have self-control.
I would even tell you, personally, I would tell you to try to even understate it a little bit.
Yeah. Especially like if you have video evidence, if I can undersell it and it's even worse.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like,
because then what you're doing is you're over delivering.
Exactly.
When you understate something and you got their expectations here, but then when you deliver the whatever it is, and they say, "Oh crap, that's more than what you and
right."
It's more impactful.
It's weird. People pick up on it. Do you guys have any sort of psychological, any habits that you have?
Yeah.
That you would like to quit?
Go ahead, Ray.
No, I don't want to quit them. I just have them.
I have habits.
I have them, and I've warmed up to them.
Yeah, I had a thought the other day. I need to stop getting into confrontation with people so often.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's just, I do that a lot.
Coming back home has made you think, I might not.
No, not with you guys. You guys will still get it, but it's more so like at professional environments.
Yeah.
It's one of my strong suits that I don't mind having the uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah.
Because I used to be so bad at it, and then I realized like, oh, this is a cheat code.
Well, disagreeableness is a cheat code to actually advancing.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's always poor behavior or just like just bad
Calling
manners.
people out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
professionally bad manners. And a lot of people have them. That's okay. But I work in like a very structured corporate environment, and I'm learning people operate within that gray zone. They have bad tendencies and bad habits because nobody professionally is going to get in their face about it. Not unless they're
exactly.
the boss or something.
Right.
Well, I'm not the boss, but I'm just some guy. But when that happens to me over the last year, which granted, maybe I shouldn't. I got a promotion because of it, but my whole thing is I call it out immediately.
Well,
Like-
Peterson's got a whole thing on that, about personality types and how,
Very disagreeable.
agreeable personality types suffer corporately. When it comes to
Yep.
corporate environments, if you have agreeable personality, you're going to be overlooked. You're going to be taken advantage of. You're going to get all the grunt work and the less pay.
Yeah.
Because you're going to take it. And and that's one of the things he does a coaching thing on, is teaching people how to agree pleasantly as possible, be disagreeable.
I need to work on the pleasantly, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you want to become more of a velvet brick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just need to put some velvet on.
It's
top
hard
of it.
to get that middle, because if I think of being more disagreeable, I always think in extremes. So it's either, yelling at them on the spot, like, don't ever talk to me like that
Yeah.
again. Or just, okay. So it's like, I never think in 50%. Like, you
Yeah.
can have a mixture of both. It's hard to know how to do that.
See, I think of it as like a strike system. So what I try to do is, except it's not 3 strikes, it's 2. I go 1, I give them a touch. I'm like, oh, but you said this, or oh, you did this.
Right.
And it's like just a nice way to be like, hey, I picked up on that. If you're
We're
self-aware,
aware.
if you're
Right.
self-aware, you'll pick up on the fact that I'm picking up on it.
Right.
Second time you do it, that's where I got to fix it, because as you've mentioned before, when I get in that mode where I'm ranting, I find I'm at my best work. I'm my best
That's
self.
me.
I'm flowing. I've reached my flow state.
Flow state.
Everything connects. All my words come out clearly.
Actually, things slow down for me. I
Yeah.
mean, the game slows down, and
I'm like, but for me, what's happened is like, I've started scaring people a little bit.
Yeah, well.
I've had people come back and be like, hey, like now they're being overly cautious around me.
Yeah.
And that's almost more annoying.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Like, you can talk to me like a normal person.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
there's and it's a lifelong, to me, study of self-awareness and understanding your own cognitive functions and how you communicate and how it's different than other
Personality type and
personality types. But I think for you, River, the best thing is to start drawing lines for yourself and other people before you emotionally engage.
Yeah.
Don't wait till you get emotionally angry, frustrated,
Right.
upset, or whatever.
And that's
because then
hard.
you're acting out of
You got stake in the game.
Yeah.
So it's hard to not act out on it.
just on I've always told you guys you got to train people how to treat you, and that was just the best way, and it's probably a poor way of articulating.
No,
I think it's
a
perfect.
good way. Yeah, great way.
It's just,
I think about it weekly. I really do.
but it's
Nobody has trained you.
Yeah, you have not been.
I guess
properly
it's my
trained.
turn.
There are some things like that you can never be told. It's like an experience thing. So
Yeah.
you can tell me as much as you can. You can't let people step on you like that. But it's one of those. You got to let nature do its thing, and it's like experience is the only thing that's going to be able to help that. Or you being more confident in yourself after years. It takes time. It's like
and it hits you differently based on
Exactly.
where you're at.
Right.
Because, I mean, the flip side of that coin, sometimes it comes across as a negative when you say you train people how to treat you. It's also positive. I want people to know that if you're honest with me, and you are genuine with me,
Reward.
you won't find a better friend.
Right,
You
right.
could be broken
You
down.
want to reward people.
2:00 in the morning, you broke down, and your mama won't even come out. Terry will come out and help you.
Right.
Why? Because we have a relationship.
You're honest.
I have
Yeah.
trained you that I am going to be your best friend or your worst enemy
Yeah.
based on your choices of how you, because I'm going to always go in good faith with you.
Right.
That I'm going to assume the best until you tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
I don't like my uncle used to tell my cousin growing up, he says, just assume everyone's an until they they tell you
proven
different.
otherwise.
Proven otherwise. And I get
Guilty
that.
until proven innocent.
Exactly. But I don't like starting people off in a basement, and I think that's a little cynical, a
Right.
little jaded. It's probably true.
Yeah,
But
it's
you
a
wanna
shame
be
it's
honest.
accurate.
It's a shame if, and statistically speaking, he's probably got more data.
And I think humans naturally have a good reading of people, being able to read. So it's like, you can kind of tell, like, this is destined to happen. Like,
Yeah.
you can kind of tell somebody's character, some more than others, but overall.
I always think back to like my closest friends that I've kept for more than like 3 or 4 years.
Right.
Because I do think people go in and out of your life, and that's
Absolutely.
normal,
Sure,
and there's nothing wrong with that. But the people that I've wanted to keep in contact with, and I would hope vice versa, all of them typically, like 3 out of 4, my first interactions with them were kind of poor. Like both sides. Like Jordan, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time we had ever like spoken together, we were fighting. And granted, I was in the wrong, but he was my boss, and he said something snarky. And if you know me, I'm not going to let snark go away
Right.
without a little bit of a pushback.
And if you know Jordan, that personality types.
And we were like
Right.
just fighting.
It's type 1, type 1.
Yeah,
You know, it doesn't really get it.
just duking it out. But and granted, I don't think we spoke for like 2 weeks after that, because it was like, man, that guy's an asshole. And then he was
Yeah,
saying the same thing,
yeah.
man, that guy's an asshole and he's stupid. And both were true. He is an asshole and I was stupid. But
I'm not arguing the facts here.
once we like started working together, and also once I got better at my job and had a little bit more self-security, I knew what I was good at, what I wasn't good at, and it was okay with being coached. Then it was like, okay, you know what? He was kind of right. I shouldn't have done that. He didn't
Yeah.
communicate it in a very
Right.
polite way, but
Yeah.
it was honest.
Yeah.
And to this day, we don't get to see each other very often, maybe once a year, but it's like I'm always rooting for him. I know he's doing the same for me and my
Absolutely, yeah.
wife, and it's a good relationship. And a lot of my active friends now that I talk to regularly and see regularly, they're kind of assholes, and I love that about them,
But
because they
honestly,
will
that's a
tell
good
you
thing.
to your face.
Because your friendship started off with honesty. So
Yeah.
it's like you can
That
tell.
is so smart, River. You're right. And your mother's best friend in high school started off the same way.
Yeah.
She called Adrian the B word.
Yeah.
And Adrian came from a very proper, religious, more stringent than
Traditional
your
family.
Traditional family. And your mom was just trying to be funny.
Sure.
But Adrian slapped her. I mean, just slapped the taste out of her mouth. And it stunned, because your mother. She's always the most.
She's never going in bad faith. You know?
she was, but that sparked a lifelong, great friendship. That they both were very combative, and same in grade school. My best friend, all the way through grade school, we got into a fist fight in the playground in second
Really?
grade. But it's just,
off.
you're right. It starts off in very moments of honesty.
I feel like it's almost, at least for type A personalities especially, it's almost a sign of respect.
yeah,
Right.
Like after you cool down, of course, because you're both going to think you're right, and somebody to challenge
Absolutely.
that is a moron.
Exactly.
Right.
But then after the fact, when you cool down and you can think clearly, you're like, oh, maybe there was some credence on their side, and then you go, you know what? Good for them for
standing up for
standing
themselves.
up for themselves.
Well, that's why she said. And to this day, I should have never called her that. I don't know what I was.
Yeah. Well, I think the same thing. I was like, why did I say that? That's such a snarky thing. I was in the wrong. But I think from his point of view, he was like, this guy's terrible out of his job, but he's not going to take shit. I give him that.
Exactly. And that's what I was going to say. On the flip side, it's sort of, they at least stand up for themselves. Because when I think back to previous jobs, like I used to work at a shop, and I think back, like, how did I let this guy talk to me like that?
Yeah.
But on the other side, let's say I worked at a restaurant. I thought the way to do it is, yes, sir, appeal to their authority. I guess, I don't even know if that's the right word to say, but I'm trying to appeal to what they like, which is they like to
Right.
feel authoritative. That doesn't work because they just know they can walk over you. It's sort of, they're not malicious about it, but they know.
They're not even doing it intentional.
Exactly.
It's so subconscious.
It's on a subconscious
right.
level. On a subconscious level, they're thinking this person is here for me to use.
Right.
However I need them, and they're going.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you teach them, no, I'm not one of the folks that you can walk on. They actually respect you.
The thing I've told
Yeah.
Alicia before, because she's the kindest person you'll ever meet, and she does have a backbone, but she's also a very internal person.
Right.
She,
Right,
She
right, right.
internalizes
Exactly.
it.
Yeah. And so for her, I've told her, one of the things that it happens subconsciously is when you let people walk on you, whether people are like looking for that or not, that tells them a little bit, oh, you don't respect yourself.
I was literally about to say, you said something genius a few months ago, or in November.
If you don't respect yourself, why would I?
Exactly. I was about to bring that up. You said something that was, they're not even malicious about it, but it's like, you don't have a spine. And a lot of people don't respect people without a spine, and it's subconscious. It's like, you don't even respect yourself.
Yeah.
So why am I going to...
You don't treat you right.
Right.
So it's like, is it my job to treat you?
Right.
Yeah.
And then plus you're angry about it because to a certain sense, you're angry that they don't even have a spine. Stand up to people.
Well, think about this. Have you ever rode with someone and when you got in their car, you could tell they take care of that car. I mean, it is spotless. There is not everything. There's not a dust particle in there.
My car for about 4 months before.
I was going to say, some people even have
think about how you're riding with them. You're going on a trip. You're doing something. Think about how you treat your drink and food inside that vehicle versus riding with someone else.
That's a genius way to put it.
That doesn't.
Yeah.
So
That's
when we carry ourselves and you see this person psychologically and emotionally takes care of themselves.
Yeah.
Their environment has to be, this is what they expect. This is what they want to live in.
Yeah.
You're telling everybody around you. This is the way we roll here.
Yeah.
You're training everybody how to treat you.
Oh, exactly. I mean, there's no other way to say it.
But it's just psychology. I mean, because people pick up on it. And then if I'm not smart enough and have enough self-awareness to, when I drop a wrapper in the person's car to go pick it up myself, they're just going to look at me and look at that and go, oh.
Yeah.
You're going to get it real quick. There's not a lot of conversations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good stuff. Very good stuff. But it's counterintuitive. You think that you have to get along, to get promoted, to get advancement. Everything inside of you says, I got to be the nice guy. And this is not advocating being a jerk or being anything else.
And that's the thing. There's a middle that I was saying earlier, because I think
it's not necessarily a middle as it is.
There's a sweet spot, maybe.
Well, it's just a matter of reorienting your perspective toward high standards for yourself. It's not that I'm moving this way or this way. It's just, this isn't being mean. It's redefining, because people think when you say no, or I'm not going to do that, or you don't accept something, that you're being, inside of you, you're not being agreeable. So your internal dialogue, if you're a person that's very open, very agreeable, your internal dialogue is, I'm not being nice to that person.
Right. Exactly.
And it's not. You've got to redefine what you consider what is nice.
Exactly.
And then for me, the thing I've had to learn, because I've always been a little bit of a hard butt, right? And no, we're not going to do that. But learning to be more and more empathetic.
Right.
I've had to learn it's not enough to say no, but say no and say, and not that I owe you an explanation or anything like that, but I say it politely. I say it with kindness. I say it with, I know that's what you want. I know this is going to disappoint, and I don't want to disappoint you, but the answer is no.
Right. Yeah. Right.
You know, that.
And the tough part about that is in your head, which is what I was saying, a sweet spot. If I'm thinking standing up for myself, subconsciously the picture is lecturing them, going, you are not going to talk to me like that, like going into a dramatic, but it doesn't have to be that way. Or in your sense, it's like when you think of being an empathetic person, my first thing I would think of is blue hair, like love everyone, be empathetic to everyone. But you don't have to be that way. You could just be that 50%. Well, maybe there's something to this person.
Well, I think sometimes we think being nice is the absence of, or being nice requires us to discount our standards and our way, and not that necessarily our standards right. And that's one of the things I was talking about in church today. If you look at in any organization, whether it be church, school, work, family, everything, conflict always comes when your values don't match my values.
Right.
And we all have different value systems. Inside the church, what I was talking about today is based on our spiritual gifts. You might be a person, like a lot of people think the church's whole role and whole purpose and what ministry and church life should look like is service. So
sort of a governmental take care of
if we're not feeding the poor, we're not.
Exactly.
And here's the thing. We should be doing that.
I think so, yeah.
But here's the thing. There's other functions that you're supposed
Definitely.
to. Some people thinks we should be a teaching organization. And you're equipping people to understand theological ideas and principles and then replicating that out. And that is true.
Yeah.
And then other people. So there's like
you said, you need a seasoning.
There's
You can't
about
just have
8
salt.
different callings and giftings that people inside churches have. And it's the same way in the corporate world. Some people have a gifting for administrative skills. Some people have a gifting for communication and marketing and sales skills. Some people have a gifting for executive skills and leadership skills. And the thing is, your skill set and what you are motivated by, motivation speaks to the hierarchy of my value.
Right.
Like I could say, for instance, I think because I'm a person, my gift inside the church, for instance, is exhortation. So I don't even feel like we've had a service unless everybody has been able to get something from the music and the preaching that lifts their spirits and makes them feel better that they can take on the next day.
Exactly.
Because I think that's what you should. But you know what? That's my value system. Because sometimes you go in and we're talking about doom and gloom and things are because it's more of a prophetic. But you know what? Sometimes we need to be warned that things aren't societals, isn't where it should be, and we need to fight for this and this.
But you need all of that.
But you need all of that, and where conflict happens is your value systems are different than mine, and that's why we have political divides in society.
Exactly.
That's why we have corporate. But conflict. If you want to know where you have conflict with an individual, start thinking about what do they value,
and what do I value,
and what do I value. Yeah. That's going to help you communicate and sort of bridge the divide.
Yeah,
you know, because that's what I've been able to find.
And the good thing about church is you don't need a 2-party system. You know. Everybody can work in some way.
You think we should go to a 3-party system?
We should. Yeah.
Was so your sermon? What was the? I guess you haven't finished it because Alicia said you were preaching next week too.
Yeah, I do this all the time, and I told Gina, your mom, I said I think this was probably the weakest message I've had in a while.
What? I thought that was your strongest message. I'm not even like just saying that. I thought that was your strongest message in a long time. Yeah, because it was so clear what the point was, and it was like entertaining. It was a perfect mix of everything. It wasn't too jokey. I thought it was arguably one of your best messages in a long time.
You never know how something's going to hit.
Right.
The Beatles said their most popular songs were all ones they thought were going to end up as B-sides. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing. And you honestly, you need feedback from, because I had a different group of people today say they really liked it. Yeah. And the people that liked the last one, I didn't hear from.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's just
There's a perfect anecdote from that very message where you said something that wasn't even meant to be something strong, and one guy in the audience was like, amen. It was like, and I guess me, Gabby, and everybody was sort of like,
what did he hear?
Yeah, like, I mean, it was so
queso should be free along with the guac.
It was just
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It was so unseasoned. You just said something, but it goes to your point. For that guy, I couldn't imagine in a million ways how that could be seen as something incredibly said. It was just you were just making a statement, but to him it was like, that speaks to me so much. Yeah. So no matter what your message is going to be, it's going to speak to somebody more than other ones.
Oh, that's true. You don't know what other people are hear.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Because you even said in your message, you project what your own feelings is. So if you're going through something in your life, you're going to be seeing it through the lenses of whatever you're going through. Well,
that's why it's so important to have a feedback loop.
Exactly.
You know, and say, what did you get from this? And then what, you know, all I want to do is make sure people, and that's what I was saying. I want people to walk away encouraged, and I want people to walk away inspired, and I want people to walk away motivated. So that's my motivation.
Right.
That's my priority. And I felt like I didn't deliver that today. But everybody's saying, but you delivered so much content and there was so much how-to.
It's not what you would consider a good message, but and then it's, I guess 30% of the audience was like, we know some people that
you're playing for someone else.
Right. Yeah. You're always going to be, because a lot of times people can see it as you're not telling the full truth because there's darkness that you're not talking about, and a lot of your message can be happy. Yeah. So no matter what you say, there's going to be somebody that
that's true.
You can't really hit it all at once. So today didn't match your value system, but I would say a lot of people thought it was really
didn't match my priorities. What I hit on was like a third or fourth level priority in what I value, but it hit and rung the bell.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like next week though you're going to hit on self-awareness.
Yeah, next week I'm hitting on the whole message today was on gifts. Mm-hmm. Since we're going into Christmas.
Yeah.
And I was basically explaining that, last week we had communion. What is communion? We are evangelical Protestants. Communion to us is not the Eucharist. It's not Holy Communion. For those who are in the audience that have a different theological persuasion, no, not throwing shade or anything. That's just our theological belief. So that means it's symbolic.
Yeah.
So we take the wine, which is grape juice, because we're in the South, and
the Catholics do it right.
God forbid if we would.
I was saying that last week. The Catholics do it right. They have real wine, and they'll give it to a 6-year-old.
I don't think that's true.
Stay away from stuff, would you? I threaded the needle so well there.
Wait, I didn't mean it like that.
I brought a hammer.
But the point is, I would say that was symbolism. And so today I said, we're about to have Christmas. We're about to exchange gifts. But, that's symbolism still.
Yeah, for sure.
It's symbolism, but sometimes we get so caught up in it, we forget why we even do this around the holiday.
Yeah.
And so that was the whole point. And then I didn't use this word, but this was in the Bible. And sometimes we've become so reductive that we think that, and it is, Christmas is about the birth of Christ.
Yep.
Full stop. I want to be clear on that. But let's dig a little bit deeper. What does that mean for the person who puts their faith in him? Well, then you dig a little deeper. That means salvation. You dig a little bit deeper. That means he gives you gifts to walk out your life and have an experience in this world. And that means he empowers you to do things. He gives you. And so I gave illustrations about, I come from a tradition that we lean into these things, what's called grace gifts, which is supernatural things of speaking in tongues and all this other stuff, not getting into that. But I was trying to bring a practical standpoint that sometimes we have spiritualized things so much that there's no practical value in it. I mean, what's the point? I mean, why, And so I was bringing up that I was in a meeting, and it was like 2004, 2005. It was Anaheim, California. I'm in the trade show out there at the NAM, National Association of Music Merchants. And I'm in this meeting with executives from Costco, with executives from Suzuki America, with executives from Keyboard Carriage, some highfalutin people, asking me how we did certain things, because we had just started shipping pianos all over the country from what's called dock to door, which meant it went from a warehouse straight to a person's home.
We took out the middleman, basically.
Anywhere in the country. And that was a logistical, this was before Amazon.
Yeah.
This was before
the middleman. That was before the middleman, right?
So we were a little bit of ahead of our time in that. And so they were trying to, how do you do this? How do you do that? And that's was what I brought up. I says, and in that moment, I started speaking in terms and in language, I spoke in English, but I started using words like fulfillment, logistics, drop shipping.
Started talking to corporate speak.
I started talking in very corporate to that industry speak.
You washed off the hillbilly stank.
All right.
What? Yeah. But beyond that, I spoke in terms I didn't even understand what I was saying. And to me, it was just a little bit, not to get too woo-woo here, but for me, it was supernatural. I was hitting way above my weight. And so we signed a contract that for the next several years made us wildly successful until the housing market crashed in 07, 08. But walking away, folks that worked with us and everything asked me, where did you learn that? And I was like, I don't even know what I just said. I mean, I was scratching my head.
Can you pull up a dictionary so I know I used that right?
I said, check the paperwork and see what I just signed. I don't even know what we just did. But my point is this, it was back to, that was what's called a word of wisdom, that God promises you that if you will seek him, seek knowledge, seek understanding, that when the time comes that you need to be wise about a thing, he will show up. In cases. It's not a guarantee. It's not, I'm not selling anything here, but it's just an experience I had. And so I went into that in gifts. And so next week, we're going to be talking about how to hear more about what the Bible says specifically to you. There's two ways to look at what the Bible says. One is just logically the logos. That's what the written word is. But there's a Greek word that means rhema, that has to do with, and this is how it specifically applies to you right now in this moment. And that's where it becomes less of a historical theological document and more of a real time right now river, because God said this in Ephesians, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
This is what it means for you right now this week, and you need to do this. Well, for you to be able to discern down to that level means you got to be hearing, a little bit about, where you're at in life and where you should be going and what this word really means and all that. So, because there's a passage in there that says that faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. So everything we do as Christians is done by faith. We just believe it. We can't prove it. It's not scientific. I get all that. It's just I have this assurance and belief that if I do what I feel like is being said here, I'm going to see good results. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. But I'm going to put my trust in what this rhema word. Faith comes by hearing. And so the whole point of where I'm going next week is, why did he use the metaphor for hearing? He could have used, because we have 5 senses,
right?
Taste, touch, smell, sight, but he used the hearing. So I did a deep dive study in how the brain actually works when we hear, and how it is so different. And did you know, you guys know this because you're smart kids, but you know what the difference between light and sound is?
Let me guess. Light is faster.
There's no difference. Light is when you take a sound wave, when you speed it up, the pitch gets higher, higher, and higher, and higher. Then it goes beyond our ears. We can't hear. Then it becomes a dog whistle. Can't hear that. And the frequency, you keep raising the speed to the point it turns into light. And then you keep raising the rate of speed to that frequency. The colors change to the point it becomes a laser. There's no difference
between that and a sound wave and
a sound wave and a light.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I'm getting into a little bit of woo-woo science and how it interacts with.
That'd be cool.
So I'm excited about it because it just sort of lit me up because, the rainbow kids, the rainbow came about because it was God's promise to man. God made a promise to Noah. And that's why he says, and I will say, well, when he spoke that, a rainbow, do you know how many colors are in a rainbow?
7.
That's right.
Really? I didn't know that. That was a lucky guess.
That's a smart guess. 7 shows up a lot in the Bible, so.
Yeah, and so, there's a lot of interplay here with sound. How many notes are in a scale?
7.
There is.
I had no idea.
So I've just been in this rabbit hole of when you really look at it, numbers, sound, music. The laws of music is the laws of nature. Like for instance, there's 12 notes in the entire scale. If you go from A sharp, B, C sharp, there's 12. Well, so the entire governmental structure of music is in 12. 12 tribes of Israel, 12 disciples. 12 in the Bible means government.
Yeah.
It's just there's all kinds of things when it comes to sound, hearing, and how this is. So it's going to be a fun little,
be coincidental.
Yeah, exercise.
It's not very scientific, but I will say the weird thing about music that not music, but just sound. But I guess music as an example or an illustration. When I see a photo of like us doing something, going somewhere, I can remember like bits and pieces of that moment from the photo, but it doesn't really transport me back to being there. Like I know it's a still shot of a moment in time, right? And that's what makes it cool. But music, when I play music in the car, because I had that old Eclipse for like 8 years and I didn't have an aux, so I couldn't plug my phone in and just listen to whatever. I bought CDs. Past when CDs were not a thing anymore. You don't really buy CDs. I was still buying CDs because that's the only way I could play music. And so now anytime I play any Arctic Monkey song, any Paramore song, any of that stuff that I had in my car, I can think back to when I picked up Alicia for the first time when she came to visit in South Carolina. I can pick up my drives to Atlanta. It immediately transports me back to a spot where nothing else does that.
It's so weird.
Sight doesn't really do that for
because
me.
You'll forget. It's weird. Sometimes when I listen to music, I'll like smell something again just for a millisecond. That's like I haven't smelled that in a long time. Yeah. It brings back memories of.
You're touching on something that sound and only sound has.
Yeah.
And that's the reason he used that particular.
Well, that's what I was wondering because
And check this out. Hearing, I'm getting into where it is. When you, because part of my directives here is Cliff Ravenscraft.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give him a shout out. He was the one that asked me to do this, and I thought it was just weird. And then I started doing it, and it worked. And one of the things he told me to do, and he knew I was a Christian, so he advised me to keep it in Christian faith. And when people are of different religions, he says, utilize it because it's just a psychological truth. And I believe God created me. He created me in my psychology, so it works. But when we're negative about ourselves and think negative thoughts and we beat up on ourselves and why did you do this, you idiot, and you know better and you should have done better than this, and why don't you, and for the longest time, I was beating myself up because I just could not get my health where I wanted it. I would diet, I would exercise, I would do these things, and I would quit. And it's constantly frustrating. And he says the only way you can unwind negative thinking is to hear yourself say positive things.
Mm-hmm.
You can't read positive things. You can't. You have to hear yourself say it, and you have to hear it yourself say it over. And it basically got into the science of you're rewiring your neurology. You're rewiring your brain a little bit because you've got these neural pathways that the more and more you have this belief system, the deeper and deeper that pathway gets. And so the only way you can unwind that is to build new pathways. And so the little weirdo thing that he had me do, he says, you're a believer, pick you out some passages that would speak to you directly, internalize it, and then record your voice reading it to yourself. And so when I would go to the gym, believe it or not, I had a playlist of just background music playing and my voice speaking scriptures over me. That, Terry, God said you can do all things if you will put him first. And da-da-da-da. And so I would just have all of these, for a secular term, affirmations.
Right.
That's the secular term for it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and what you was bringing up with music and everything, when you do that, here's the science behind it. You activate the reticular activating system in the brain. By reading scripture, in my case, or affirmations, your signal to your brain that the content is significant because it's in your own voice. This prompts your RAS to focus on opportunities and scenarios where your gifts can be applied, helping you to recognize, so the RAS speaks to the subconscious mind. There's things that we do consciously and there's things that we do subconsciously. Subconscious is our deeper memories that we're not necessarily just recalling. It's just sort of going on in the background behind us. For example, you could drive, like today, you could drive from church and your mind's over here, you're thinking about this, you're thinking about that, and all of a sudden you're in your driveway. You don't even know how you got there because you weren't thinking about driving home. You just showed up. Well, that's your RAS. That's your subconscious that's doing those things. When you bought your car, this new car you had here, I guarantee you, after you bought that car, you started recognizing other Subarus on the road like yours.
All the time, yeah.
Okay. Well, they were always there.
For sure.
You just didn't recognize it.
Right.
So the point of hearing and the point of music is it gets into your subconscious level. See, when I use my sight, when I use pictures, I'm using my logical side of my brain. I'm using the frontal, not the frontal cortex, but I'm using the part of the brain that is just recalling logical things and what's the word? Static scenarios that have no emotional feeling to it, no anything to it.
Right.
It's just data.
Right.
It's just raw data.
Different.
And that's what the eyesight does for me. But when I hear things, I'm tapping into the emotional side of what's firing off emotional signals in my body. And the whole point of emotion, to be honest with you, and this is what we get into counseling all the time, because guys, I tell them all the time, you're never going to win a fight with your wife or your girlfriend because they remember everything. Because I said, have you ever been in a fight and he says, you said this on such and such date? And you're like, I don't even remember that. And so
You're cheating. Where are you writing this down?
yeah, and the reason a person who is emotionally engaged will always remember something is because when you can tie an emotion to a memory, it's now able to be recalled. If it's just data, you can't recall it. That's the whole function of emotion. So when you have music, it brings up the thing of nostalgia. I knew where I was at what time. I knew what was going on.
It's about traumatic events, car accidents and stuff. You recall exactly what you were listening to, where you were at.
But that's the power of sound. That's the power of hearing. That's the power of what it does to the brain. And how it's just
makes things more significant.
If you can sing something like a lot, I get criticized a lot because you'll notice in my messages I alliterate a lot. Like today I was talking about there's ministry gifts, there's motivational gifts, and there's manifestation gifts. Why did I put it in this alliteration? So I could remember it.
Yeah.
And the reason I can remember it is because it's alliterated, which means it has a rhythm. And if it has a rhythm, it's almost like a song. And now I'm getting it locked in. Yeah. It's just not a data point. So, but that's the power of sound and music. And so I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if other people will get as much out of it as I've gotten.
Sounds good, yeah.
But it's
well, now you have a segue, though.
Yeah.
When you get there next week, you can be like, who all enjoyed it? And then when everybody raised their hand, no, be honest. Some of you didn't enjoy it.
Some of y'all did not.
Because we're going to get into why you didn't enjoy it. And I really need to.
That's true. Well, this has been a crazy year. 24 has been crazy. I'm glad it's over, to be honest with you.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Can't wait for 25 and aliens.
Yeah. Dude, I just want not normal.
I think it'll get more normal, though. Everything going up to the political election, and at least the U.S. has sort of died down.
I think the key, I've been watching some videos with Jen lately. I don't know why she finds them fascinating. I find them fascinating, but she's also loving them. They're called bushcraft videos.
Bushcraft videos.
Yes. What happens is there's this guy that I really like. He runs a channel called The Outdoor Boys. He's a father. He's got 3 sons. I'm pretty sure he comes from a very traditional lifestyle. He was former military. He's just very clean cut. But what he does is he goes out in the Alaskan wilderness and he just survives. And he records himself doing it and he shows why he's doing these things and he kind of coaches it. And it's a little bit of a way to relax and be like, oh, it's kind of like I'm getting to experience the coziness of camping and I don't have to go out there because it's 20 degrees. But what he'll do when he doesn't have his boys is he'll do extreme camping, which he goes in the Alaskan wilderness and he'll literally take a plane and he'll fly in and land on a lake and then he'll just go out for a few days and then he'll come back and the plane will come and pick him up. It's very extreme, but said all that to say he is the most probably calm and just level-headed guy when things that would cause me to freak out, like, this snowmobile that you're using, it's gotten stuck 14 times and there's no way you're going to get home if this thing, you might die out here. Right. It's life or death. And he's like, man, that's really frustrating. It keeps doing that. I'm just like, dude, I would
It's beyond frustrating.
I can guarantee what he's not thinking about, the election, aliens.
Oh, exactly.
And so part of it, everybody says it, but it has to be true, is just unplug a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely. Just step back and go.
It's not
It
as
is
bad.
all crazy, but it's crazy because you see it all the time.
Right.
And we are victims of an algorithm that we know is going on. We intellectually know what's being done to us.
Yeah.
I don't care what political side you're on. You know you're being used.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
You're being used for clicks. You're being used for engagement.
And I think it's incredibly sophisticated the way it happens too. I think I've probably used this example before, but I just think it's so crazy it works. If I'm, say, on Instagram and I stumble across a reel that has skateboarding, I used to be really into skateboarding. Right. I got into a little bit of a feed where I was like, for like a couple days, I was watching all the newest skate highlights, who's good in the industry now, because I've been out of it for so long.
Right.
I come back, and that was like a year and a half ago. I still get suggestions of skateboard stuff all the time now on other apps, and I'm just like, I spent 2 days getting into skateboarding, but there's an algorithm. We know you like skateboarding. I don't know how they know that, but it's cookied somewhere that I was into skateboarding.
Somewhere, somehow, it could be in your router. It could be in your phone. It could be in another app that's ghosting.
And so if what you constantly intake is, not for lack of a better word, fear mongering, you're scared because look at this crazy thing that's happening. Look at this crazy thing. There is a system in place that's just going to continue showing you more of that.
Right.
Well, that's the thing, and they know the psychology behind this. Negative stuff sells.
Oh yeah.
People are always going to look at the train wreck.
Yeah.
And the most negative thing and the most negative light you can put on any situation from either perspective is going to sell.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And, but maybe I'm talking out of turn here. I don't know. But we've had some crazy elections the last 3 or 4 cycles. We all have talked about it ad nauseum. So there's no new content that could be added there. Other than out of the 2016 and the 2020, this one felt very contentious like they did.
Mm-hmm.
It really contentious. But as soon as it was over,
Everybody kind of chilled out, it felt like.
Yeah.
it just like, okay.
Yeah.
It was, because even in 2016, it was like, it wasn't accepting.
Yeah.
And it had to be this because of that happened. There's no way.
Yeah.
And then 2020, we know what happened there. It wasn't accepted.
No, yeah. For lack of a better word.
we raised the ante a little bit about not accepting. And then we went into 24 and I was like, okay, what's going to happen here? And maybe part of it, and like I said, I don't want to speak out of turn. That's not what this show is about, but I'm hoping maybe because it was so decisive, that probably helped a lot.
Yeah.
I think also it does seem like everybody's just a little bit tired.
You're burned out.
Like I can only care about so many things because we weren't. What's that? There's a Switchfoot song, but I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, we weren't meant to ingest this much.
No,
we should.
Right.
Like I can't help but think of the '80s and when the Cold War was going on, and at any minute we could have all been gone. Right.
Yeah. Right.
And there's these stories that have come out years later about how like there was a false alarm on the Russian side, and there was one guy that was in a submarine that because he disobeyed an order because they told him to launch,
He didn't launch.
and he didn't.
That's what all Red October's all about, isn't it?
Yeah. And so when I think of that, though, I go, sure, things are crazy. I'm not going to say they aren't, but part of it is just we're all just so much more aware of everything all the time.
Right.
That's true.
Why it feels so contentious. It's not that things are worse or even better. I would say it's better.
I agree. I agree. I honestly, I say this knowing that I'm going to get hate from a lot of people I love because they just don't agree with this. But I think these are some of the best days you could ever live in.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, and it seems like there is
just from a standpoint of modern medicine, convenience of things.
There's a grievance industry on all sides of the spectrum that would assign, negative meaning to what I mean by there. But it's just, I was listening to, I think it was Peterson's show that he had a sociologist on, and he was talking about how everybody has this nostalgic look back at Dad with his elbow up on the fireplace mantle. The fireplace is roaring. There's no TV. There's only radio at that point, and there's radio over there, and he's smoking a pipe and all this. He says, and if we could just get back to when life was like this.
Just so simple.
And then he started reading the stats. That man's going to be dead by the time he's 63 of lung cancer because of the fire, how indoors was that, where the medicine was this, and he just starts going down all of the things that it was harder then.
Yeah.
Life was much harder, and how it is just so much better now. And people that are considered at poverty level in today's society would be considered absolutely ballers.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, a little perspective goes a long way.
The modern stat I constantly see, and there is some legitimacy to it with inflation, but they go, look at what a house cost at this time and then look at what it costs now. And there's some truth to that. I'm not saying it's not an issue. But what gets left out is that house that cost $30,000 in 1940 or whenever didn't have indoor plumbing.
No.
Right. And so it's like, it was a house, and granted, that is the best way to...
It would probably cost $5,000 in the
Yeah, sure. But my point is, but how were they living? There was no indoor AC.
No, that's exactly right.
I know that wasn't a thing around the 70s
My
or 80s.
parents back in the 70s were buying these rental properties down in Atlanta and Smyrna and Marietta and those areas.
Yeah.
And they would spend anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 on these houses.
Yeah.
No, now they had indoor plumbing and had basic electricity.
Sure.
No central anything. No central heating. No central air.
And granted, I want to make it clear that doesn't mean that there isn't an issue there that needs to be fixed.
No, absolutely.
But I have so many friends, and it is frustrating that we all work full-time jobs and still can't quite afford a house, even with saving and doing everything you can.
Sure.
But at the same time, the houses that we always reference in that example is like, oh, well, if I was in the 80s, I would have bought a house. Like, you wouldn't live in that house. Yeah, I wouldn't live in that house. There was no AC.
Right.
It gets 95 with 70% humidity around here in the summer. You think I'm living living there?
The first time I had air conditioning was when I was Haven's age.
Mm.
We got a window unit,
Yeah.
So the standard of living is, I don't think, granted, and that's the other thing, they say poverty causes crime, and I love that stat says no, poverty does not cause crime. Poverty does not cause anything. Relative poverty does.
Yeah.
When the neighbor is doing extremely well and you're not, it causes societal issues.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
And that's when you have to start, working on things,
Maybe that's why there's so much contention.
It probably is.
There's a bit of inequality that's causing all the frustration. And
I think where I don't think that's where the disagreement is. The disagreement is how do you solve it?
Yeah.
That's where it breaks down. I think the values I think there's more in common with a lot of people politically than the parties will allow you to admit, because it's not in their best interest to highlight, where we're together.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
then they can't win elections.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Everybody, I want affordable health care. I used to be in the insurance business, and I saw the inequalities and the problems with it. And I saw those problems get exacerbated since changes were made. Now, that's my own perspective. Everybody's got their own perspective, and I don't pretend to be an expert in that field. But I was close enough to it to see it. And we've all seen what's happened in the last 4 years. But what I'm excited about, it does seem like in the last several weeks, there is a renewal of hope on a lot of people from all sides, to be honest with you, not just us, and recommitment to trying to get back up and start up over again. Because even in our business, what we do here, I'm seeing people start to reinvest.
Yeah.
Start to want to do things that was just talked about for a year or two. So hope is a powerful driver of the economy.
It is.
Oh, absolutely.
I hate to say it.
I mean, if you're more my direction, I think that there's a lot of people that are going, well, I mean, it happened. Like, there's nowhere to go but up. You know, it's kind of hard to go below where we're at.
Well, please don't challenge worse. Don't ever challenge worse. I promise you it can get.
I get it. But what I'm saying is that's the mindset.
I get it.
We didn't win, so what else could happen, And then your side, of course, for obvious reasons, like, well, yeah, we have something to look forward to now. So I get it.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing some changes, not political. I don't want to lean to. I feel like it's inappropriate for me and my place in my community and business to put a lot of hope and trust in either side politically, even though I'm very politically minded. But as a Christian, I feel like that's almost sacrilegious. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do have a political persuasion, as you know, and we talk about all the time.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, my hope has to be somewhere else. Otherwise, I'm going to be disappointed, because anytime you put it in man, you just get frustrated and all that. But well, this was a great little podcast. I'm glad.
I hope so. We'll see the complaints, and then we'll find out.
Didn't talk a lot of business, but I thought we talked a lot of good mindset stuff.
You didn't think your sermon was good. Apparently, it was great. If we're thinking this is good, I'm a little worried.
Yeah, what's your opinion on this podcast? What do you
Terrible. No, I thought it was actually really good.
You really do?
I really did think
Because he was thinking if I thought my sermon was bad today and it was actually good, then I just told him, I said, I thought the podcast was pretty good. He goes, well, I'm worried then. It's probably going to be riddled with complaints.
Probably going to be terrible. Thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought we covered a lot of ground. We got into a little bit of psychology there about how to interact with other people. What was your takeaway? What should I put on the highlight of why listen to this podcast?
Give me a few seconds here.
Did we have anything of value that we can sort of put out there and say, hey, listen to episode 623? That's what
Hashtag hope.
Hashtag hope. Keep hope alive.
Yeah.
A gift for you. That's the title of this episode.
A gift for you during Christmas. A conversation with the Wilson boys.
Whatever your sermon was called, I think you should rename it, or name this whatever the sermon was called, because it was kind of similar.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Okay.
Give it the title of whatever you have your sermon down as.
Yeah.
Was it? It wasn't preachy, was it?
No,
not at all.
I don't want to be preachy or anything.
If it was, we counterbalanced that. You're good.
Yeah.
You brought enough of this.
Yeah. Once again, I apologize.
The
They're all
sacrilege.
jokes. It's all jokes. My apologies. I haven't been on a podcast.
No, I think it's great. I probably come across way too stiff and way too, overly concerned about things I probably shouldn't.
Well, it's your name. It's your business. That's right. You're being reasonable. That's fair.
Yeah.
No, but I do miss this. I told your mom on the way over here, I said, I miss the ways we had the podcast before where we just sat in and just chatted it up.
Yeah.
It's sometimes difficult to, now the other podcast when I'm solo, it's all business and just point.
Right. It's probably a lot more eloquent too.
Probably,
I wouldn't go that far. All right. Well, this has been episode 623. We recorded this on December the 22nd, right before Christmas. And, anything else?
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Talk to you guys later.
Thank you for listening to our show today. If you have any questions or would like to speak with us about your goals, then please call or text us at 864-507-9696. Reach out to us online at terrywilson3.com.